Bakery owners face a lot of challenges in costing their product. This is because they are unable to calculate the cost of production per loaf. And so in this video, I'm going to try my best to give a solution to that problem. We are going to calculate the cost of production for a 50 kg of flour, and also we are going to calculate the cost of production per loaf of bread. That way we'll be able to determine our profit. Just add the amount you think should be the profit and the sell price. That way you come up with a good profit and you know what you are doing. So stick till the end of this video because it's going to be an amazing unveiling journey. Don't forget to like this video. This is the best gift that you give to me. Like this video, click the like button, drop your comment, tell me where you are watching from, and don't forget to share this video with your friend. Having said that, let's go straight to the video. So the first item is flour, and we know generally that for 50 kg of flour is about 58,800, depending on your location. It could be a little bit higher than this. So now let's look at the next item is sugar. If you are not using any sweetener, any saccharin, if you are not using any intense sweetener, and you want to use only sugar for one bag, for 50 kg of flour, you are going to use about 6 kg of sugar. Now, if we divide this 6 kg of sugar by this 50 kg, we will have approximately 9 bags. That means for every 50 kg of sugar that you buy, at least 9 bags. You use it to bake at least 9 bags of flour. So if 9 is the number of bags, that means if we divide 84,000, which is the cost of this sugar, by 9, we'll know the cost of sugar per bag. So 84,000 divided by 9. This will give us 9,333 naira. So this is the cost per bag, the cost of sugar per bag, 9,333 naira. Let's keep it there. For salt, we don't need to calculate because we know that it just 500 naira salt. We may use it twice or 3 times. So I will use 200 naira salt for the 1 bag of flour that we are calculating for. So salt here will be 200 naira. Now let's look at the next item, which is butter. For butter, if you buy that carton of butter, there's a carton, the butter is in carton and in bucket. So let's use the one in carton, which is about 15 kg. That carton is 15 kg and it will cost you about 38,000 naira. So for the recipe I'm using in calculation, we use 2 kg of butter for 1 bag of flour. So if we use 2 kg of butter for 1 bag of flour, that means if we divide the 15 kg, which is 1 carton, by 2 kg to give us 7.5, that means about 7 bags and half for a carton. So now if we know that these are the number of bags we use for this carton to finish, that means if we divide the cost of this by the number of bags, it will give us this amount. This amount is the cost of butter per bag. So this one is 5,067 naira. So for butter we have 5,067 naira for a bag of flour. Just follow step by step as we calculate every item. Let's take a close look at yeast and preservative. First of all, yeast is that 1 pack. Just 1 pack of yeast is 2,900. And for 1 bag of flour, we always use 1 pack. So if we're using 1 pack, that means this one is direct. So we'll just put the cost price of 1 packet of yeast, which is 2,900. Now let's look at preservative. If you observe closely, if you understand what I'm doing, you will notice that I'm equally giving you recipe because each item I calculate the measurement per bag and then multiply by the cost. So if you can be taking the measurement per bag, you already have a clean, beautiful secret recipe. So let's look at it. So we have yeast 2,900 for preservative. A pack of preservative is 5,000 naira, and that pack is about 1 kg kilo of the preservative. Now for one bag, we always use 200 grams per bag. 200 grams per bag of flour. That means, and we know that 1 kg is 1,000 grams. That means if we divide the 1,000 grams by 200 grams per bag, we have about 5 bags per pack of the preservative. This means that the 5,000 naira, which is the cost of a preservative, divided by the 5 bags it will take. That means for one bag of flour, we have about 1,000 naira for the preservative as a cost. So we have 1,000 naira for preservative. Let's take a quick look at the softener. I use softener to make my bread very soft, so it's among the list. So for softener, here we have the type I buy, that Dependox softener. It's 3,000 naira per pack. Some areas that are less than that, 3,000 naira per pack. And on the pack is recommended that is for 2 bags. That means for one bag, one pack is for 2 bags. So for one bag, we have 1,500 naira. 1,500 naira. And so let's look at the next item, the improver. I use EDC, and the one I bought last was 5,400 per liter. So if we are using, if it is 5,400 per liter, and we are using 100 ml per bag, that means it will be about 540 per bag. If you do the maths, you discover there is no space for much calculation. So if you follow the procedure I'm using, you will arrive at this. So for improver, we have 540 naira. Now let's look at milk flavor. For milk flavor, I always use the oil-based milk flavor. Now for that oil-based milk flavor, 1 liter is 23,760 naira. So if you divide that by 10, because we use about 100 ml per bag, so that will give us about 10 in a liter. So if you divide it by 10, you have 2,376 naira. So for milk flavor, we have 2,376 naira per bag. Now let's take a quick look at the final items. For 50 kg of milk powder, it's about 140,000 naira. The full bag is 140,000 naira, depending on your location, mind you. Now we use 1 kg of milk powder per bag of flour. So if we divide this 50 by 140,000, we have about 2,800 naira per bag. That is, for this 1 kg will be around 2,800 naira. Now let's look at nylon. It's 30 naira per loaf. That one sheet of it is 30 naira. Multiplied by 75 loaves. I'm using the jumbo. 75 loaves always come out per bag. 75 loaves. This will give us about 2,250 naira. So let's assume that the transportation to buy all these things would be around 5,000 naira, which could be less, because if you take a bike or you take a cab to wherever you buy most of these things and then back, I'm not sure it will be up to 5,000, but let's just give ourselves that 5,000. And then the cost for gas, let's assume that we use 2 kg of gas to bake one bag. So that 2 kg of gas will give us about 3,000 naira. 3,000 naira. Let's quickly input the figure. So for this, for milk powder will have 2,800. And then for nylon, we have 2,250 naira. For transportation, we have about 5,000. For gas, we have about 3,000 naira. Totaling this is the cost of production. Mind you, have not added the cost of distribution. We want to calculate our gross profit first, because if you add everything, it will be somehow too much. It will be complex. So we have total cost of production as this. Now let's get the total cost of production per loaf. So this is the total cost of the whole bag. So now remember, in our calculation for nylon, I told you that one bag of jumbo will be equal to 75 loaves. So if this is the number of loaves, let's divide this by the number of loaves. So we have 94766 divided by 75. This is the cost per loaf. Now, if you want to sell, you now sit down to decide, how much should I add? How much are they selling this size, this jumbo out there? So you do your market survey to find out the cost price, how much they are supplying to retailer, for retailer to sell so amount, how much are they supplying to superstores. So when you do your findings, let's assume that for the jumbo size, they are selling it at 2,000 naira. So if you add 5,000 to this amount, it will be, if you add 500 rather, if you add 500 naira as profit, as gross profit to this amount, it will be about 1,765 naira per loaf. So you are still within the range. You see, that means the retailer may sell about 2,000 naira per loaf. But in your area, if they are selling that jumbo size 2,500, that means you have to supply at 2,200. So you still have about 700 naira as profit per loaf. So let's calculate further. So if you're supplying to people that are, they are selling it at 1,000, if they are selling it at 2,000, that means we add 500 naira as profit. That will give you, remember the total number of loaves per bag is 75 times 500 as profit. That will give you 37,500 naira as profit per bag. This is realistic. Now, if you are located in a strategic area where a loaf of bread, that jumbo size, could be sold for 2,500, that means you can add about 700 naira as profit per bag. And if you multiply that by 75 loaves of bread, you have 52,500 per bag. Now, if by this calculation you are able to be producing 5 bags per day, this will multiply and get your answer. So you see that the business is a lucrative business if you know how to manage. So if you are producing this, and let's say you're using this amount, and then you use this for fuel to distribute, because it's not much, the number is not much. So 7,000 naira or 7,500 can fill your tank, can give your tank enough fuel to distribute only 75 loaves. And so you use this, and 30,000 is going to save it. So even if you are baking one bag a day for 30 days or for 25 days, this 3 times the 25 days, you know how much will come out if you are producing only one bag a day. So if you are producing 2 bags a day, this will be multiplied by 2 every day, and you know what you are having. So even if you want to take loan to start the business, look for a strategic location that you will sell at least this amount. You make this amount as profit per bag, or per loaf, and then this in turn become the amount of profit per bag. I hope I did not waste your time, and follow the steps I have used to calculate and cost your bakery product. This is not applicable to bread alone. If you are into cake business, if you are into pastry, any food production or manufacturing, you can actually use this method, item by item, divide by the total number, and have your total cost of production, and then cost your their product per loaf or per sachet, per bag, and that way you'll be able to add their profit and smile to the bank. Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Don't forget to click the like button. Don't forget to drop your comment. Subscribe to this channel for more awesome videos like this. God bless you.